Welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about the long and difficult fight of American soldiers and Afghan forces against the Taliban in Afghanistan. This was a conflict that lasted for 2 decades, with U.S. troops working side by side with Afghan soldiers to push back Taliban insurgents, defend cities, and protect civilians from oppression. It was not an easy mission, and it came with many challenges and sacrifices. The fight against the Taliban. After the 9/11 attacks, the United States launched military operations in Afghanistan to dismantle terrorist networks and remove the Taliban. U.S. and allied forces quickly overthrew the Taliban government, but the group did not disappear. Instead, they launched a long and violent insurgency, targeting both international troops and Afghan civilians. American soldiers, alongside Afghan National Army (ANA) forces, had to fight in one of the most difficult environments in the world. The Taliban used ambush tactics, planted roadside bombs, and carried out suicide attacks. Soldiers had to navigate rough terrain, extreme weather, and constant threats while securing cities, villages, and key infrastructure, fighting side by side with Afghan soldiers. The fight against the Taliban was not just an American effort, it was a joint mission with Afghan soldiers who were defending their own country. U.S. forces played a critical role in training and equipping the Afghan National Army and police, helping them take on the responsibility of security. Many Afghan soldiers fought with great determination, knowing that if the Taliban regained control, their families and communities would suffer. Together, American and Afghan forces launched operations to drive the Taliban out of strongholds, take captured areas, and protect civilians from attacks. The partnership was crucial in preventing the Taliban from regaining power for many years. Defending against Taliban attacks. The Taliban relied on guerrilla warfare, blending into local populations and launching surprise attacks. This made the fight extremely difficult. U.S. staff and Afghan troops had to conduct joint patrols, set up defensive positions, and use intelligence and special operations to weaken Taliban leadership. In addition to combat, they provided security for reconstruction projects, helped establish local governments, and worked to create stability in areas previously controlled by insurgents. American forces also supported Afghan soldiers with airstrikes, logistical aid, and medical support during intense battles. The cost of war and its legacy. The war in Afghanistan came at a heavy cost. More than 2,400 American soldiers and tens of thousands of Afghan troops lost their lives. Many more were wounded, and countless civilians were caught in the crossfire. Despite the sacrifices, American and Afghan forces managed to keep the Taliban from regaining full control for nearly 20 years. Thanks for watching.